So, my name is Sarah, and today I will be doing the movie review for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, directed by Tim Burton and authored by Ransom Riggs. Oh my lord. My favorite quote in the whole movie was, "Oh, come on, Dad, it was a joke." That was by Jacob, when him and his dad were on their way to the island. So, for those of you who don't know, it's a book-movie adaptation by the book Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by, of course, Ransom Riggs. I did not see him in the movie because I know authors like doing little cameo shots. So for those of you who probably did see him, can you kind of leave a comment down below so I can find out where he was? Because I think I saw Tim Burton. So I liked it. It was a nice, cute little movie. I could feel the whole Tim Burton aspect of it. Some scenes I did see like on videos kind of leaked a year or so ago before the movie was announced. There were some scenes in the book that were like tiny detailed scenes that I was like, I remember that. So if you are thinking, oh, I won't see this in the movie, wrong. You probably saw it. And then there are some scenes where it's just veers off, and it's just the movie itself. The acting, it was good. There were some scenes where I was like, really? But I liked Eva Green. She was a wonderful Miss Peregrine. She was a little weird, and Miss Peregrine way, how she would, note things by the second, by the minute, by the hour, by the day. The casting, I liked the kids. They acted like kids. They were being themselves and everything. The older actors who played certain characters, they were a little bit older than they should have been. They were fine, I would say. Yeah, they were fine. All in all, I like the movie. For 1 to 5 star rating, I would give it a 4. Movie, movie adaptation, I would give it a 2 because it kept faithful to the first book, I would say. And that's as much as I'm going to say for non-spoilers. So for those of you who are Tim Burton fans and who liked the book Miss Peregrine, I would just say check it out, give your opinion, say yay or nay if you think it did a wonderful adaptation to the big screen. So, yeah, I think it did fine. Again, movie itself 4, adaptation a 2, but hey, that's my opinion. So, for non-spoilers, bye! So, for spoilers, and for those who are faithful to the book and the whole series, yeah, y'all probably had a huge issue at the end where, like I said, it just veered off and everything. I did like Samuel Jackson. I am disappointed that he died because I was thinking that since he was the therapist, he might live. But no. Okay, I've only read the first Big People, so I don't remember any mentioning about whites getting abilities as from the peculiars they eat from. I think it's further on in the book or anything. But Samuel Jackson can shift his form except for the eyes, because he played 3 different people in this movie. But he was a little sarcastic, which I loved about him in this movie. So yeah, the beginning, it just shot right then and there when Jacob got the call from his grandpa asking where the key was to his gun. And yeah, instead of being mauled like in the book, he just lost his eyes. I'm pretty sure his grandpa had eyes when he died, and then Jacob saw the hollow, and it felt like it's more like a few weeks than a month than Jacob could accept the stories weren't real and everything. So, and just moved on forward. The town looked what I imagined. It was nice, a little boggy, and you have the kids that are trying to be modern while everyone's still living in the past. They had the priest hole, which was funny. They did not have the museum. I was a little disappointed about that. It's like I like the old mummified old dude in the coffin and the curator, the guy who ran the little museum. But we did not see that. So sorry. And we just move on forward to where he finds his Peregrine and everyone. It kind of happened a little different in the movie. Like, you just see the kids one at a time popping up all over the house. When in the book, Jacob found old photos in the trunk, and then he dropped it, and it went through the floor, and then he saw the kids again, and they're all there, and then he accidentally wandered into 1943. 43? Yeah, I think it was 43. And then in the movie, they kind of carried him through the loop, and he ended up in the past. So, Miss Peregrine, she was a real interesting character, a little nutty for a while, because she's always like 10 seconds off schedule or right on time. That was kind of, I think I could live with that. Evergreen being a little, let's see, Enoch. I think that's the character, not the actor, but just the character he was portraying gave me a little issues, because first of all, Enoch was like a 10-year-old, and he was like a creepy little kid that you'd find in the corner. But no, in the movie, he was just obnoxious, I would say. He acted like he knew everything. Olive, whose powers were switched with Emma's, so Olive could control fire, or just touch something, and turn to fire, and she had to wear gloves. She was like in love with him. I don't know how that one happened, but I don't know. I was able to go with Emma, with her ability being switched with Olive's, which was she could float. I still don't understand how she can control air by blowing. If she can do that, then shouldn't she be able to control her floating ability? And all the little kids, they were adorable. They were acting like kids. They were just having fun, I would assume. The twins, oh my god. For those of you who have not seen it, and the movie, major spoilers, and for those who have read the book, I believe you only meet a pair of twins in the second book. But these kids, they always make these strange little animal sounds, and it was like a little cute. But when they took off their masks, they went all Medusa on a white and turned her to stone. I was like, oh my god! Millard. He was adorable. He would walk around in the nude, and Jacob accidentally sat on him, and then Miss Peregrine was like, go put on some clothes, and he was like, oh, fine. That was funny. And Fiona, she's a little pink fluff, and Hugh had his bees, but I thought the bees were always flying around him, even though they lived inside him. So, like I said, there were some scenes in there that were like part of the book, like say the kids that Jacob met on the island. I would say we did see his boss, and she was the one that took him to his grandpa's house instead of his friend. There was the birthday party, and I was like, I remember you, because it was Jacob's uncle and his wife who were like, oh, for the summer we're going to the beach house and blah 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 blah. I was like, I remember. And so let's see, the shortcut didn't lead to a sheep herd dung pile, but it was still a shortcut. So I was like, the dead sheep, yes, that was there, but we didn't get into much detail about that. It's just like a big sign saying that there is a hollow around. And old man who took up the spot for the curator, but he was just an old man that lived on the island. So it's like, we didn't see the museum, and we did not see the little cute magic show that the kids put on. I loved that scene. It's like they acted like they were a part of a circus group, and they were showing off their abilities to Jacob and just having fun. It's like, I love that scene. And so the part where it veers off, one, Horace he really doesn't see the future. He projects his dreams. So there was this weird scene with the other Ebrin and the mad scientist White, and then there was this scene with Jacob getting ready to kiss Emma, but they never showed the scene where Horace had this vision of a future battle going on. So I don't know if they do get the go ahead for a second movie. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Baron being able to shapeshift, so he was the bird guy and the therapist. So he followed Jacob, used him, blah blah blah, and got Miss Peregrine. The weird scene I feel for Evergreen was when she just was so specific on what Baron wanted to do. I was like, okay, that didn't really seem like it should be there. And then we just got to the point where they resurrect the Titanic. Jacob's like, well, we got a boat. We can follow them if Baron took a boat. And they brought back the Titanic with skeletons on there, which Enoch used to reenact the Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know. And there was a loop in the 21st century. People, especially you whites that have been living among humans for how long? There's something called the internet. Even if you're stuck on a loop for 2016, there's cameras everywhere. It's like, this is bound to end up on the internet every day. Well, I guess for that one day, because that didn't go according to plan. And yes, there is the whole Pirates of the Caribbean scene where Enoch brought back the skeletons on the ship, and they're fighting the hollows, apparently. The kids were throwing snowballs, candy, and what was it called? Cotton candy. Yes. And then they challenged Baron against the other whites, and it's like, what? Oh no. But all in all, they did rescue Miss Peregrine, and Jacob stayed in the loop in 2016, and his grandpa was still alive. After that, I just got confused. The ending was confusing. Like, his grandpa, who heard Jacob's talk back in 1943, heard him when he was still in the military, and then he saved money for Jacob to go follow the kids, even though they were back some other time, I guess. He did this whole monologue on how he went to California, went through a loop there, then ended up in Tokyo, and went through a loop there, and ended up in 1942 where he enlisted in the Navy for a year. That was confusing. It's like, I was very, very confused. And another scene that seemed out of place was when Enoch thought Olive died because a white touched her and she was starting to freeze, and he was like, all these years you was by me and blah blah, and like, I didn't appreciate you more, and he kissed her, and then she's like, were we gonna finish? It's like, okay, I really don't get this whole Enoch and Olive kind of thing. It's like, especially when he brought back Victor to life and used him as a puppet. That was like really weird. And so yeah, the kids went off on the Titanic, risen from the dead, and then there's Miss Peregrine flying around, and she's back in her human form, and then she can shift back. That's very, she's like, what? Because in the book she gets wounded and she can't turn back, and then we eventually find out, spoilers for those people who haven't read the second book, that's her brother. She didn't go into detail about how her brothers were also part of this organization of peculiars who became wise, and an explosion in, I believe, Siberia, how the whole hollow thing started. They really didn't mention anything about that. It just sounded like needless info in the movie. So, all in all, let's see if there's anything I am forgetting. I could tell that, like I said, Tim Burton kind of feels the town, how he portrayed the garden and the house. And there's another scene, I think that Tim Burton apologies if I get this wrong, but I think Tim Burton was the one that directed Beetlejuice. It could have been someone else. I think it was Tim Burton. But when Enoch brought his little toys to life, it was a little animated, like Beetlejuice when they were in the different worlds of the dead. I think it's been a while since I've seen Beetlejuice, so I was like, "Aw." But the way how he filmed, the way how he showed things, that reminded me of Tim Burton, almost like an Alice in Wonderland meets The Nightmare Before Christmas. The scene where I think I saw Tim Burton was when he was on the Ferris wheel and got hit by a snowball when the kids were starting to fight the Hollows. I think that was him. And I did not see Ransom Riggs, so... And yeah, my initial reaction, I liked it. It was cute in some parts, and then there's some scenes where it's just like, this just doesn't make any sense, especially the ending. And there's some scenes where it felt a little rushed, some scenes that didn't look like it needed to be there, and just some lines that definitely did not belong in the movie. So I liked it. I think it kept the basis of the movie, unlike Nerve, which just took the name. This movie, it kept story-ish. It had the characters and certain parts that seemed like they belonged there. My biggest issue was the endings. Like, I was so confused on where it was going with that one. So if someone understood all of that, please explain, because I need an explanation, because I felt like I needed to rewind the last 10 minutes of the movie and have dubs down there to explain everything. So 4 out of 5 stars for movie itself, 2 out of 5 stars for a book movie adaptation. If they manage to get the green light for the second movie, I wonder how that's gonna go, because they already have the Brins. They set them free. Baron, of course, is dead, but they didn't mention anything about Miss Peregrine's brothers, and apparently she can still shift back and forth. So it's gonna be hard switching her with one of her brothers who can do the same thing. We didn't get the setup for how there's going to be another battle. Apparently there were some Nazis that were whites, and that's how we saw the U-boat at the end of the book, because they had one of the Yebrins. Instead, they had a Hollow eat one. Don't know how that's going to work. And so, yeah. My reaction and review to Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. If I missed Ransom Riggs scene in the movie, or if y'all have y'all's own opinions, I would love to read them down in the comment box down below. So, my name is Sarah, my review of Ms. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and bye!